What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing, my favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. What up? It is Monday, October 2nd, 2023, year of our Lord. And I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock out with the greatest morning show on the face of the earth, bar none. And I'm talking about nationally, internationally, internet-based, cable, whatever it is that you want to say it is, or whatever you want to compare it to. There is nothing and nobody that is doing what it is that we, and I say we, you and me together, because this is an interactive show. I look at what it is that you guys are saying on the screen. I kick it with you. What up, Jordan? What up, Curo? Larry Walker, Juan Hart, Devastator, Hollywood Street Savage, GBG Bear, Carl Rich is in the building, Mr. BX87, Tiffany London, Brittany B. What up? What up to everybody? What's happening, y'all? What's going on, friends and family? Y'all ready to rock out on a new month? This water is cold, Jake. Look how frosted it is. Look how frosted it is. Yeah, what up? All right, so let's go ahead and kick it. Let's rock out. Again, I appreciate you guys for continuing to tap in. Let me get a mental health check this week. Can I get a mental health check inside of the chat? One word, let me know how y'all feeling, what your mindset is, how you see things, what you project the rest of the year to be, what you going through. One word, just one word. Come on, y'all. I need y'all to use y'all good sense. Don't throw a whole bunch of other words into it. One word. What up? I don't need no tea. I'm Anton. I'm good. Winning, content, blessed, healthy, awesome, determined, amazing, blessed, focused, blessed, marvelous, blessed, phenomenal, sleepy, driven, focused, blessed, determined, grateful, grinding, blessed, great, focused, extravagant, abundance, preparing, determined, rejuvenated, youthful. I like that. Winning, consistency, productive, grinding, sad, Bitcoin, rich, healthy, determined, planning, shalom, broken, blessed, inspired, determined, winning, gratitude, mellow, exploring, doomed, productive, growing, unsure, awesome, here, hopeful, tumultuous, better, Fabulous, volatile, doomed, focused. You're not doomed. Tired but happy, self-preservation, rejuvenated, relaxed, mystery, healthy, mellow, motivated, blessed, focused, fortunate, empowered, optimistic, blessed, motivated, hungover. That's not good. Not on a Monday. Sad, fatherly, happy, profitable, focused, and not finished. Cloudy, accepting, growing, prosperous, knowledge driven. Happy New Week. Shout out to Azriel. Spirited, amazing, motivated, sturdy, slow motion, dusty, trapping, learning, ready to grind, attack mode, fortunate American, growing. Shout out to K James. What up, K? Copacetic? Is that what you meant to say? Centered, ebullient, focused, savage. Maybe I can give y'all a little bit of inspiration today. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. I don't know how this show goes. All I know is that when I kick it with y'all on a regular basis, I got to figure out how I can continue to add value into your life. So first and foremost, I do want to say thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for all of you that have joined me this year. Some of you joined me last year and more of you joined me the year before. We not done yet. We only at the tip of the iceberg. So we got work to do. We got money to make. We got relationships to build, networking to network. You know what I'm saying? We got so much. We got to make the math. We got to make it happen. So let me get a little bit of the housekeeping out of the way. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude. Also, on top of that, make sure you get that Tej Hanley, longtime sponsor of the show. We got the new Tej link in the description. If you are not a Tej Hanley family member, ladies, make sure that you get your man to do it or do it for him. Fellas, don't wait for your ladies to do it. Do not rock with any other Tej link. We love Tej. Tej has always been a great partner of ours, and they take care of us over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. More importantly, I would never, ever, ever give you or advocate for or advertise anything that I would not use myself. So make sure you get that Tej Henley. On top of that, make sure that you tap into the Patreon. What's the best time to tap into the Patreon? Yesterday, the first of the month. What's the second best day to tap into the Patreon? Because we wasn't live streaming last night. But what's the second best day to tap into the Patreon? The second day of the month. All right? So if you're not a bag chaser, I will be live streaming this weekend. I am going to look to live stream maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday. We can get a live stream popping. We could talk about whatever it is that y'all want to talk about. We can have those conversations. I will be reading super chats throughout the show and also Cash App. So thank you to everybody that support the platform. Let me get this early, my first super chatter in for the day. I'm technically, Tim says, the back to 200,000 K champ is in the building. Salute to the OG, and he's just getting started. Bag chasers on top. Let me give a round of applause for that. A round of applause for the bag chasers and a round of applause for 200K. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, what is 200K? Thank you. I'm technically Tim. I appreciate you. Some people are going to say, well, what does 200K mean? What does that mean? Let me explain to you what it may mean to me, and then we're going to get into the show right after that, all right? So, one of the things that I want you guys to do is to stay focused and get to the money. Throughout my journey as a content creator, as a businessman, as an influencer, some will say, I don't know how you guys categorize me, but I just speak to whatever it is that I see largely on the internet. I did a interview with real life street stars. Shout out to them boys over there in Dallas. And they put in a label Deca Millionaire. Now, one of the reasons why they put into the label Deca Millionaire was because of them being able to see certain things in a part of my bank account, my portfolio, and some of them are bag chasers. Shout out to the bag chasers. You know I show all of my information online. And we have conversations, and we've been looking to connect for a while before I got back down to Dallas, and then they released this interview, right? So I don't control, nor do I care what people put as the label, but they decided to put that as the label. Deca Millionaire, Anton Daniels, based off of their familiarity with me. One of them are familiar with what it is that I have in my bank account, what my portfolio look like, and the whole 9 years, right? And as these interviews get released and I check in and I tap in, and different people like, oh, Anton, I seen you on Real Life Street Stars and all of that stuff, right? And, I was talking my talk. And so that's what I do. I entertain, I add value, and then hopefully you can get the meat and spit out the bones. That's what we do, right? And on top of that, of course, there's always going to be some dusties here and there that is bothered by the idea that I continue to win on the highest level. And since I came on the internet, there has been people that has been wishing for my downfall. Don't worry about it. You too. Them wishing on my downfall is wishing on your downfall because I add value into your life, right? So whenever there's an offense against one of us, it's an offense against all of us as far as I'm concerned. When I see people talk negatively about anybody that I'm associated with in a bag chaser or anything like that, when I see different people arguing, I try to intervene and I say, hey, what are y'all doing? Why are we not working together? Why can't we make an adjustment? Why can't we work towards the betterment of each other instead of looking to tear each other down, especially when you don't even really know this person in real life? Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Is this person really against you? Is this person really doing something negative to the people, or are they figuring out how to add value into somebody's life? I do that for the people that I know, not for people that I don't know. I don't care nothing about them. The only thing I care about is you guys. I only care about you. I genuinely only care about you, right? And so, of course, there's some dusties. There's still some rumors out there that I've never addressed as far as Anton got all of his money out of inheritance. From where? From who? Pull it up. Anybody can leapfrog off of a bunch of other stuff that came up as a rumor. Why should I substantiate it? My substance and the value that I bring is based off of the results. You see it every single day. If you're a bag chaser, you've seen my W-2s. You've seen my brokerage accounts. You see my real estate. As a matter of fact, let me share with you what my thoughts are going forward. So the first thing that I want to have a conversation about is slow growth, staying focused, and getting to the money. I was talking to a pretty famous R&B singer last night, and we were kind of talking to each other and pouring into each other as far as adding value into each other's lives. And we were discussing money and marriage and really, really, really cool brother. I got so much love for him. Shout out to you, my dog. I appreciate you, bro. And we were so focused on building that we don't even spend no time talking about any negativity whatsoever. Now, I had largely forgot about this number until somebody reminded me of it, and then I screenshotted it and I threw it on Instagram over the weekend. But this is the second channel. They said that I couldn't do it once, so I decided to do it twice. So this is the second channel that actually surpassed the 200,000 mark. Now, we've evolved past a point to where we're not as focused about the numbers anymore, and so we just so focused on building. We staying focused and we get into the money. Building, focus, get into the money. Building, focus, get into the money. How can we continue to grow? How can we continue to push? How can we continue to add value into each other's lives? Now, this is a milestone for them. This is not a milestone for us because we're not looking at this based off of where we at. We looking at it based off of where we projecting ourselves to be. The milestones and the results is for everybody else. We so focused on the process. It's somebody that's seen that and they said, listen, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going to take it down to 290. And then it went right back up to 291. You know why? Because they can't stop what it is that we're doing. We're staying focused and we get into the money. I was observing some people this weekend and they was bickering and arguing and they was going back and forth about some small junk that wasn't even relevant to anything, wasn't adding no money into nobody's pocket, but just continuing to take out of their energy and tear each other down. And it's not adding any value whatsoever. What's the point? What's the point? What does it mean? How does it add value into your life? Anytime you start to evaluate whether or not you should do something or you shouldn't do something, the first thing that I want you to do is evaluate whether or not it's going to add value into your life. One of the things I plan on discussing in the live stream on the Patreon this weekend, make sure you tap into that description. One of the things I plan on tapping into on the Patreon this weekend is the progress that we're making on the site. I say, I deliver, I execute on the things that I say that I'm going to do. And I say that I'm going to do it first before I speak to it so that I can then add value into you guys' lives. And I'm keeping a really close, detailed documentation of what we're progressing on as far as this build that we have going on at the site. And so this is what it is that I seen over the weekend, and I'm keeping you guys up to date, right? Because they're now breaking ground. So all of the hard work that we had to do and all of the tens of thousands of dollars, and I've spent over $100,000. And this is the point that we're at right now, right? This was over the weekend. We got excavation crews over there, right? They dug out. Everything is approved. We got them peoples over there. Everything is going absolutely awesome. So I'm going to speak to you guys, and I'm going to give you the updates of what it takes in order to build a house from scratch, because I've never done it before. And because this is my first time doing it, I want to make sure that I tell you guys and show you guys what's going on out here in these streets, right? And because I love to document the process, I love to live my life like an open book. That way you have the receipts. So 5 years from now, when somebody says, Anton don't know nothing about building a house, but I'm building 100 of them at a time, you can sit there and you can say, wait a minute. I was there at its inception. Anton has been documenting this process throughout the entire time. Why should he even sit here and entertain responding to you, because you can't respond to everything that everybody says? The only thing you can do is continue to embrace the process. The results is for them. The process is for you. More importantly, this morning, I had my project manager on site, and they're already starting to frame so that they can pour the concrete and they can get the foundation. We put in the building in there. We got some others out there on the site. If you know what an other is, then you know. And so this morning, they're already starting to frame. They should be pouring over the next 3 weeks. Everything should be cured. I was talking to my contractor and my architect this morning, and he was giving me some updates and things like that. But more importantly, one of the things that I'm going to live stream with y'all is I've already started the build process for the second site. And then we've already went into an agreement to buy the third site. So we're just rolling here. We rolling, we building, we doing what it is that we do. We not worried about what everybody else is talking about, because it does not add value into our lives. Now, what is the moral of what it is that I'm having a conversation with you guys about today? Huh? What is the moral of what it is that I'm having a conversation with you guys about today? No financing, no hard money loans, no investors, 100% out of my own pocket. November, we doing the Invest in Your Business series where you guys are going to pitch me. I'm going to give you the grant money, and I don't need any equity in your business. End of November, I don't need any equity in your business in order to try to get you off the ground, because I want you guys to leverage the lessons that I'm teaching you inside of the Patreon in order to continue to build and win, right? What is the lesson that I'm trying to tell you guys today? What am I trying to communicate to you guys? There are going to be a lot of people that try to throw you off of your game. They're going to try to take your confidence. They're going to try to sabotage you. They're going to try to kill your name. They're going to try to destroy you. They're going to try to prevent you from becoming great. They're going to see the greatness in you before you see it in yourself. And then they're going to try to prevent you from getting to that greatness by taking everything that you have that's within you, but you have to understand that it's for you to lose, not for them to take from you. It's for you to listen to what I'm saying. It's for you to lose, not for them to be able to take from you. They can't take from you what God has already ordained for you to have. They can't take from you what's already yours. The only thing that you can do is choose to fumble it. It's yours. It's in your hand. I tell guys this all the time. What about a relationship, right? I tell guys this all the time. When you walk up to a woman and you approach her, I'm not talking about shooting no DMs from the old school. When you walk up to a person, right? Before they even have a conversation with you, they already know whether or not they like you. What usually happens is, and this happens in the interview process, this happens in relationships, This happens with regard to content creators. What usually happens is it's yours to lose, not necessarily that it's not already yours. They already know whether or not they want to rock with you. They already know whether or not they like you. They called you into the interview process because they've already been interested in you participating and having a job. It's yours to lose, not theirs to take away from you. And when you have a different mindset and you approach it differently, you continue to evolve and you grow. So what we're going to do this time around, now that we've accomplished some of the things that we wanted to accomplish, what we're going to do this time around, right? Now that we've continued to grow and we've also evolved past the 200,000 mark, we not going to take a dump on our enemies this time. We just going to ignore them and continue to push. Because any energy that we expend towards them is energy that could be used elsewhere for value, not for trolling. We don't care anymore. We've passed the threshold where we no longer have to prove anything to anybody. The only thing that we want to do is run it up. I want bags, not hags. When you evolve past a certain point as a man, you want cash, not ass. You understand that the ass come with it. It's yours to turn down. When it's plentiful and abundant, you're not chasing it no more. You don't have to defend yourself no more. You're running the numbers up. They're waiting for the scraps off of your table. We don't care no more. We've already won. If you were going to stop us, you should have did so in our infancy when we didn't even realize how great we were. When Jesus was born, there were people that understood his greatness and they were hearing about Jesus of Nazareth before he was ever even able to speak a word. They set out to destroy him in his infancy because they already realized that he was going to be too powerful by the time that he was able to preach the word of God. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's a reason why they set out to stop him in his infancy. At this point, we're too strong. They knew his greatness. Listen, the people that hate you know you're great just as much as you're professing it and living it. It's the reason why they hate you before you get there, because by the time you get there, you're too big to stop. And so you cannot continue to entertain it once you pass a certain level. Once you evolve, you don't devolve. You don't go back to the place that you came from. You build on what it is that you've already set as your foundation. Push. Push. Why are you entertaining people with no profile picture? You don't even know what they look like. Have you ever seen what these people look like in real life? Honest to God, have you ever seen what these people look like in real life? When you run into them, you realize, oh, that's why you used to hate me. And they'll tell you, Anton, I used to hate you until I realized that it was just me. If you see them in person, you can see them. Okay. And then you start pulling up their trousers. You start dusting off their shoulders because they're a little dusty. Then you start putting them together. Hey, man, put your shoulders up. Don't be the hunchback of Notre Dame. Walk with confidence. Continue to level up. Brush your teeth. Throw some mouthwash in there while you at it. You see what I'm saying? You start feeling sorry for the people that hated you, not because they hated you, because they hated themselves. And they seen growth in you that they didn't see in themselves yet. We're here to build. Here to build. Don't worry about it. When you see them in person, they're going to get a little uncomfortable, and sometimes they hide. And they say, oh, and I can see them sometimes. And I'm walking down the street, and I'm vlogging, and I'm having a conversation, and I'm making a new video that I'm going to be dropping that night. And they be sitting there like this, trying to figure out whether or not they want to speak to me and stuff. And then I just go over there and say, what up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's going on? And they be like, oh, man, that's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. They know my slogan. They was sheepish because they felt a certain type of way. They didn't know I was really going to be outside. And then when they interacted with me, they didn't realize that they was going to love me, and they didn't want to love me because it was going to force them to face themselves. But it's no way that you can meet me and not love me. There is nobody. I've never gotten any smoking person, not one time in my entire life, from somebody that knew me on the internet, not one person. Now, how is this true? How can this be a thing? How come Anton is everywhere outside city to city, and there is nobody that can have a conversation with me for an extended period of time and sit here and say that they don't like me? You will adore me when I get done with you. It's infectious. Positivity, greatness, success. It's infectious. Let me inspire you. Let me push you. Let me show you how I did it. We better together than we are apart. But don't be fooled. And this is to my bag chaser. Shout out to the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Just because they love you don't mean that they won't stab you in the back. Remember that. Just because they love you don't mean that they won't stab you in the back. So keep your head on the swivel. I'm not telling you to not be wise, but I am telling you to be very, very careful. But more importantly, run it up. Stay focused. Stay dedicated. Stay allocating your time and your energy to divesting from the things that's not best for you and pushing yourself to do the things that's in your own best interest. Run it up. It's Monday. It's a new month. We got October, November, December. We got 3 more months. We in the fourth quarter, y'all. We in the fourth quarter, y'all. Basketball season about to start. Football season is already in full swing. Baseball season about to be winding down soon. We in the fourth quarter. We about to be in 2024, and y'all still having the same conversations that y'all was having last year. Grow up. You've been having the same conversation, trying to push the same narrative for the last 2 to 3 years. Grow up. Don't you realize that ain't nothing that's going to stop him? And when I say him, I'm talking about me because I am him. Grow up. Evolve. I've seen so many people come and go. I've seen so many people fall off. I've seen people that came against me and then fell against me and then apologized and came back and then disappeared again. Grow up. Grow up. Grow a pair and grow up. Start figuring out how you can be better tomorrow because you looking dusty, just as dusty this year as you were last year and the year before. When you going to level up? When you going to focus on yourself? I'm sure it's somebody out there that got about 80 posters of me up on their wall trying to figure it out. Instead of having a mirror up there, they got posters of me. Don't let me live rent-free in your head. Let's get it, y'all. All right? Roll to 1 million. We not stopping at 300,000. Listen. If it take the next 10 years, we're not even going to entertain. We not celebrating 300. We not celebrating 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Until we get 1 million, we stand focused. We stand with our head in the mire. We dedicating ourselves until you guys share this with 1 million of your friends and all of them subscribe. Then we just going to stay focused on what it is that we got going on. We not going to even pay attention to 300, 400, 455, 6. We don't care nothing about that. 1 million is the number or bust. 1 million or bust, all right? All right. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to get it rocking with the show. We got a full show for y'all today, all right? Technically, Tim, again, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for continuing to holler at me. And shout out to all of my friends over there in Canada. Eldon Waite is in the building, says peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Shout out to Eldon. I appreciate you. Miss Crotty Shetty came through as usual, and said, let me drop this inside of the collection plate. William Lucian says, good morning, Anton. Question, if you're getting hired to a 1099 company, is it better from a tax perspective to use your EIN instead of your social security number when signing on? It really don't matter because it's all going to be filed on the same thing and they're going to 1099 you anyway. They can 1099 you as an individual or they can 1099 you as a business owner. It's probably a little bit, what's the word that I'm looking for? Cleaner to just 1099 your company. So give them your tax ID /EIN number. Let them 1099 you. But remember, There can be expenses that you need to take out as a result of being a 1099 contractor because you're not an actual employee. So you own your own business. At the end of the year, they're going to ask you, did you own a business? Yes. File on the Schedule C, and then you're going to list all of your businesses and your payments and your expenses, and then you have to write off whatever it is that cost you in order to do the job effectively. One of the reasons that they 1099 you is because they want you to take on the burden of the cost to continue to do the great things, but your total compensation is much different than that of an employee, of a W-2 employee, all right? So make sure that you also are keeping real good track. Make sure you tap into the Patreon, keeping real good track of your expenses, and do your thing, all right? So shout out to William Lucian and congratulations on that new bag. I appreciate you, my friend. 187 says, Anton, start some commercial construction so Wall Machine can move to Detroit and run it up for us. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. I was thinking about buying a new truck, an E-Transit or a Sprinter van. I got to figure that out. Organized Truth is in the building, says, I had to send my first super chat after watching your video with the real life street stars. That was a real red pill content, money gems for the OG. Salute. Hey, why people keep talking about red pill is dead? Who told y'all that? Is that what y'all want? The truth is the truth, whether or not you believe it or not. Jacques PF says, a kingdom mindset, God bless and salute to the soldiers. I appreciate you, Jacques. Thank you for holding me down. People love good quality is in the building. I always got my people love good quality gear on. As a matter of fact, I wore it on the Real Life Street Stars interview. If y'all have not got y'all people love good quality, make sure y'all tap into that. After the show, I will put that link inside of the description. It says, hey, Anton, I'm doing the end of summer sale up to 50% off, keep spreading the good news, and your continuous support, highly appreciated. Did y'all know that I don't charge for my bag chasers and for my people to wear their stuff? Did y'all know I don't charge? I just add value. I just make sure that I help build with my people. People love good quality. Make sure y'all go ahead over there to People Love Good Quality Apparel. I'm going to put the link in the description after the show for y'all to tap in for that 50% off sale. Shout out to you, my friends over there. I appreciate you for supporting the platform. Oh, my God. Miss Lady J is in the building. Just came through and dropped that 2-ball in the collection plate. I appreciate you, my love. And then Jamal Fowler says, congrats on your 200,000 subs. Now go get your 30 million. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. Again, I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show, and then make sure you guys support the platform by hitting a like for the algorithm. Shout out to all of my people on Facebook. Shout out to my people on YouTube. Shout out to my people all over the globe. I appreciate you. I rock with you. First thing that I want to address is Terrell Owens. Now, people sent this to me inside of my email. People sent this to me inside of my email, and they said, Anton, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Now, there obviously are people that have been living under a rock, so they don't follow everything that's going on out here in the streets. So let me give you an update on what Terrell Owens said, specifically about black women and white women. Specifically about black women and white women, and then we're going to go further into the show. All right, let's get it. Oh, wait, I don't hear nothing. Is it me or that I don't hear anything? Oh, okay, here we go. We're going to rewind it. Hold on.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn, so they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. Right. So my thing now is because I know there's the stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, you know, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy and I get a good vibe with.
I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. We're going to watch the whole video, and then we're going to go down and break it down line by line because I think there's some gems in here that you guys need to get that may not be being communicated effectively.
That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like, that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to, that's, you know what I mean, that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50, I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I had as I have now.
You hit puberty.
Right. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
So let me rewind this. Let's start over. Let's start all the way over, and we're going to go from the beginning, okay? Because there was a lot in there. In that little 2-minute clip, there's a lot in there. And I already see people in the chat jumping off the bridge as though we didn't just already have a positive speech. I already see people jumping off the bridge, and let's start from the very beginning. All right? Let's start from the very beginning, and let's break it down.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me.
Let's stop there. I tried to date some black girls in college. They did not like me. Most guys, contrary to popular belief, there may be a small segment of guys, regardless if they're on the sports teams or whatever, most guys in high school are scared of girls. And it's not that they're scared of women themselves. They're scared of what comes along with them. They're scared of rejection. They're scared of the peer pressure. They do stuff because their friends incentivize them to do stuff and like that. But more importantly, guys are still evolving. They're still finding themselves. It's a lot of guys that wasn't as fully developed or mature in high school. And then they start to find themselves a little bit more in college, which is one of the most dangerous places to start to find yourself for a woman or a man, because it's almost like finding out that you got 707 horsepower in that Hellcat. You turn on that red key. Then you, because you don't really know how to control the power that you have. You know what I'm saying? So you're just going crazy, especially for a younger guy, an athlete and all of that type of stuff, right? But what he's communicating is, listen, essentially he went to a 50-50 high school and maybe women, you know, white people to black people or whatever. And it's much different than where we grew up, right? Because in the hood, it was pretty much all black people, and it was just a speck here of an Asian guy and a white girl and a couple white girls, or in a Hispanic, Latino. It's much different than when we grew up, how it is today in a lot of these spaces, right? And then also it's funny because I compare it to what my nephews are going through. They 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. And the majority of the women that they were around, or girls that they were around when they were going to school, college and high school, was overwhelmingly white. Now, compare it against this, because this is the context that's not added into it. And I know that Terrell Owens' conversation is going to be a little bit different than the conversation that we have overall. Make sure y'all tune into the Q show tonight. We probably going to address this. It's going to be a lit show tonight. I guarantee it. The conversation that we don't have out loud, right? The conversation that we don't have out loud, shout out to being a man, I'm going to read that super chat shortly, is the conversations that we have in our living room. The conversations that we have in our living rooms. Thanksgiving dinner, kitchen, right? Most people still have some form of racism, prejudice, bias, or preference, however you want to frame it. And a lot of the residual effects that come along with our parents and grandparents get pushed on to us. But it's funny how things evolve, right? Because a lot of y'all, when y'all were growing up, grandmama, great grandmama, granddaddy, mama, what did they say to you? That was a little bit different in my household. My mother was a little bit different. But what did they say to y'all? How many people, how many of your friends did you visit? And then this conversation went along. Don't you bring no white girl home. They didn't even say don't bring no Latino home, don't bring no Asian girl home, don't bring no Mexican girl home. They didn't say none of that. They said, don't you bring no white girl home. That's what they said. If we going to be real on the Millionaire Morning Show, then let's keep it 1,000. Shout out to Lucolo. I appreciate you. Don't you bring no white boy home. Don't you bring no white girl home. The ladies got the white boy treatment. The fellas got the white boys treatment. Let's be for real. If we going to keep it 100, this is what the Millionaire Morning Show do. We address the issues for what they are, not for what it is that we want them to be. We're not going to be PC over here. We always are going to just be 100% and keep it 100. Now, I can only imagine that the white people, and how do I know this? Because I have white friends that are now adults, and I'm not going to say their names because some of y'all may be familiar with them, so on and so forth, but they will tell me that the white people, to a larger extent, was saying the same thing. Don't you bring no black man home. Don't you bring no black girl home. And if your parents was real PC or they evolved to a certain point, they'll say, bring somebody home that look like you. We only date within our own. Now, these new kids got it a little different. Now, they saying, don't you bring nobody home that got the same sexual organs as you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, y'all, these new parents is so scared today that they not even tripping off of whether or not you're going to bring a white girl or a white boy home or a black man or a black woman home. They saying, hey, listen, let me just see your hands and put them up like this because I don't want you being a little bit like that. They just trying to make sure that you like people that are of the opposite sex now. They ain't even tripping. They say, listen, I'm going to take what I can get. As long as they not on that other side, we going to take you to church. We going to get you prayed for. They got their kids getting baptized at an early age in order to get it out of their system immediately. If it's any sign whatsoever, they going to be like, listen. I seen little man in there. And it seemed like he was trying to be a little fan in there. It's different now. Grandmama and grandpapa ain't even having a race conversation no more. They having a gender identity conversation. They trying to understand your pronouns. They, theirs, sees, they, sure. You know what I'm saying? We gonna move from Atlanta when we decide to have kids. We not gonna have kids in Atlanta. We gonna have kids in the North. We gonna have kids in the North. If we going to have kids in the South, we going to go to the South. We not going to go Houston. We not going to go ATL shouted. We going to go to Nashville. You know what I'm saying? Arkansas. We going to go to a whole nother side of the conversation. They having a different conversation. Listen, it's different then. But we talking about T.O. Let's finish. Let's get to what T.O. was saying. Let's keep going, y'all.
I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
so
they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still.
Let's stop there. His experience with black women wasn't so good. This is the stuff that Ebony K. Williams was trying to convince y'all of, largely a talking point of Kevin Samuels. They reject the thing that's best for them before they realize it because they want you better at the finish line. I'll give you an example. It's funny that women don't understand that men look at them differently, but they try to compare their decision-making to men. Yet they are hypergamous, which means that they're looking at it from a business perspective. They're just very, very, very bad business people. Let me break it down from a C student's perspective, right? Let's say, for example, all of these women say, I don't want to date based off of potential. I don't want to date based off of potential. We hear that all the time. You have to, or we prefer for you to be making 6 figures. Have a great job. You need to start your own business. If I have to deal with a guy that's not already there, can I build him up? Can I help him get to where it is that he needs to be? They say these things. These are not new phrases. I'm just regurgitating them to remind you of what the sentiment is today, right? As though that means anything. 6 figures. That don't mean nothing. Most people making 6 figures is still living paycheck to paycheck. You got to have a great credit score. That don't mean nothing. You can get that immediately. I can go get you a good credit score tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. They say, I don't want to date based off of potential because he may not turn out the way that I think that he should turn out. Okay, cool. So let's take that at face value. Let's say, for example, the man then says that I don't want to date you based off of potential. Well, Anton, that doesn't make sense because you say that the things that men look for and that woman's apex as far as the sexual marketplace value is in her early 20s. That's not what I said. That's what the sexual marketplace value is. That's why it's called sexual marketplace value. It is not called successfully married marketplace value. So if a man is dating you off of potential because he's actually taking the blinders off from what it is that you presented him with your mouth and your body, and he started looking at the value of who you are as a person, do you fit where it is that he's going long term? Are you prepared to talk to a Terrell Owens? Are you prepared to talk to a high value man? Think about it for a minute. Who you are at 22 is going to be completely different than who you are at 42. So is he evaluating you based off of where he's going to be? Because essentially he's dating you based off of potential. He just don't know it yet because he don't know that the finesse is there. So when even when I hear women say, get them while they're young, I'm still scratching my head a little bit because I'm like, wait a minute. Should we take them when you trying to get us? Or should we be evaluating you a little bit differently? Because if men understood their kingship, then they wouldn't be settling for who it is that you are in the first place. Because the sentiment of who you are is not whether or not you should accept us. It's based off of our own kingship, where it is that we're going. And so it's not just about whether or not you are accepting us or whether or not you should date us or whether or not we should go where we're accepted or we're championed and not tolerated. Don't go where you tolerated, go where you celebrated. No, don't even go where you celebrated. I'm telling people, not just men. I'm telling people, but I'm going to use men because we're talking about Terrell Owens right now. I'm telling men, understand your kingship. Because it's not just where you celebrate it. You may be celebrated amongst the pookies and the little corny chicks or the chicks that's not going to be worth your value when you get to where it is that you're supposed to be as far as your full power, your final form, your kingship, your greatness. The problem with most men is that they don't even understand how great they are, so they allow themselves to even be around people that do not add value into their life. Listen, it's a third level that they not having a conversation about. Y'all only surface level out here in these streets. First level is where you tolerate it. That's where your parents told you to get a woman that looked like you, whether or not she's actually for you, add value into your life, or doing the right thing. See, the parents were still giving you bad advice because maybe some of them didn't know. They were projecting their own insecurities and problems onto you, which is one of the reasons why they told you to get somebody that looked like you. Because they were facing a level of discrimination or racism, or it was taught and put into them, but that's not where it is that you were going to be. So you were dating based off of their advice that was short-sighted and their history that had nothing to do with your future. So they said, get somebody that looked like you. That's the tolerance. And then you evolved. And so now we listening to the Terrell Owens and he's saying stuff like, well, my experience with white women was different than it was with black women because black women didn't like me. So he evolved past the tolerance and he started talking about who it was that celebrated him at the time, right? That's the second level. And we thought that that's all there was. So when women then advise women or men advise women to get with men when they're in high school or when they're in college and then start to get with them, that don't necessarily mean that she for you and she's supposed to be with you forever. She may just be a season. But because we're short-sighted and we don't get to live and be 100 years old, we don't get to have to learn lessons. But Uncle Anton is going to teach you today, because I am the master of understanding what it means to be successfully married. This is the third level. The second level is to go where you celebrate it. This is what I see a lot of guys say on in a lot of instances. Go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. No, not necessarily. Only if you want to be mid, only if you want to be average, only if you want to be at this level. I'm going to break it down for the third level, but let me play a little bit more of what Terrell Owens is saying.
Didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. Right. So my thing now is, because I know there's the stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy, and I get a good vibe with. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive. Right. You know what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, "Oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like," that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to. That's, you know what I mean, that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50. I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I had.
So here's the third level that a lot of people, 99% of the population, will never, ever be able to capture, because they don't know. And they don't understand what kingship really means. The third level is to go based off of, or to evaluate somebody based off of where it is that you're going to be, not where it is that you celebrate it, not where it is that you tolerate it. None of those, neither one of those is for you when you're really operating in your purpose. Being great and being successful, whether you're successfully married, whether you're successfully in your professional career, whether you're a business owner, you already understand what the end goal is. You're working backwards, right? Great people are Benjamin Button. Great people operate from a Benjamin Button perspective. They're working backwards. They understand what the end goal is, and they're prepping. Their entire life is based off of what it is that it takes to exceed what that is and then go beyond that. So now if you're evaluating based off of that, then you're looking at it completely different. You're not looking at it based off of her aesthetics. You're looking at it based off of whether or not she's going to be a great mother. You're looking at it whether or not she's going to be unquestionably loyal, submissive, and obedient to what it is that we need to do, because what's in her best interest is to make sure that she's pouring into you. You're looking at it based off of whether or not she's moldable, not whether or not she celebrates you. She gonna tell you she love you right now, and then she not gonna necessarily like you tomorrow, because who you are today is much different than what it is that she's looking to be with tomorrow. You want to know whether or not she got the right sentiment. You want to know whether or not she's gonna stick with it. You want to know whether or not she's willing to endure in order to get to the other side, right? You always work backwards. You look at where it is that you project yourself to be long term, and you do that based off of your lifestyle, and then you reverse engineer it, and you start to give yourself milestones along the way. This is one of the reasons why I tell guys on a regular basis, stop starting off like the speed of an Olympic sprinter. Why are you trying to give her everything now? Why are you trying to show her that big wedding? Why are you trying to give her that big ring? Why are you trying to save your salary? Why are you trying to take her to Ruth Chris? Why are you trying to do all of this other type of stuff for her? You shouldn't be doing that. That's the dumbest thing that you can do. That's the dumbest thing that you can do. You starting off with the speed of an Olympic sprinter because you know not who you are yet. And you cannot maintain this. And because she's not going to be able to stick with you, because holding you down when you down is continuing to help build into what it is that you got going on. she should not be around when you really get your kingship. It's so much more to this. It's so much more to this, but I might hold on to this for the night show. Maybe I'll give y'all a little bit more on Wednesday. We'll figure that out. It's not celebrated, go where you celebrate it. It's not go where you tolerate it. It's to go based off of where it is that you're going to be projected. It's your kingship. It's your greatness. It's having equity in what it is that you've built together. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get into it. Let me read some of these. DM says, congratulations on 200K. I started a programming contract in June after watching you. I am switching from an LLC to an S Corp because of your guidance. Shout out to you and shout out to the Bag Chasers. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Silver Lion in the building says, grab popcorn just to watch this chat session. We building today. We not tearing nobody down. Being a man is in the building says, the way you articulate Anton is amazing. Got an oral board meeting tomorrow and took it upon myself to read more books. Shout out to you. I appreciate you being a man. Thank you, my friend. Lucolo is out here in the building. Just came through and dropped that in the collection plate. I appreciate you, my friend. Shout out to all of my people overseas. In My Zone says, good morning, AD. What's the best tech career to get into? I want to get in a future-proof tech job if I can. Thanks for all of the knowledge you'll be kicking. Listen. Most jobs in information technology is pretty secure. The thing that I recommend people to get into is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is where all of the bags are. It's where all of the security is, and it is the thing that is basically future-proof. There is nothing going to be more future-proof. You can get into software engineering. You can get into project management. You can get into all of these different things, right? You can get into back-end coding. You can become an app developer. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, UX, UI, so on and so forth. If I'm starting from today, getting into tech, I am going into cybersecurity 100% of the time. I am going into cybersecurity 100% of the time. That is where all of the job security is, especially with AI, artificial intelligence, especially with machine learning. Go into cybersecurity. Listen to me. If you have never listened to me in anything when it comes to a career recommendation, I am telling you, cybersecurity is where it's at. I know y'all want to be cloud engineers. I think that that's dope. Software engineers, I think that that's dope. Cybersecurity is where it's at. You will never need or want for anything when it comes to being able to run that bag up in cybersecurity. And it's always something for you to be able to fall back on. Shout out to you. Counselor Mr. G Live is in the building. I appreciate you, big dog. Says, I can't stick around since I'm getting this bag right now, but salute for dealing with this topic. Black women hijacked the colorism thing. We experienced it first, but didn't whine. We got on our grind. Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you for rocking out. Devontae is in the building. Shout out to Devontae. Devontae says, hung out with a white girl and a black girl this weekend. The black chick was the only one giving masculine, strong, independent woman vibes. Yeah, but focus on your kingship, Devontae. Don't get distracted by that white girl either. Remember, we all in the same culture. It's Western culture. Charles Ringo in the building says, do your thing, big dog. I appreciate you, Charles Ringo. Shout out to you. Five Brown is in the building. Shout out to Five Brown. Says, yo, Anton, congrats on the 200K, big dog. I predict we'll both will be at 500,000 between both pages by New Year's. And we were just talking about Sprinter vans on our call. Let me know how it goes. I will let you know, my friend. I ain't even paying attention to the numbers no more, if I be honest with you. Darlene says, congrats on the 200K. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate you. My name is Corey is in the building. Corey says, I call BS. Most of us were teased by girls. I was very intentional on dating black women. Sounds like an excuse to play in the snow while simultaneously throw black women under the bus. Just stand on it. I don't think anybody should be held accountable for having preferences. He's just giving a context as to how it is that he's seeing things. I think that it's fine, every single thing that Terrell Owens said. And let me tell you something else, Corey. You are not required to talk to a black woman just because she's black. Just because you're intentional on dating black women, that may be a preference for you, but that may not be everybody else's preference. Some people choose to just stay single. I have nothing to do with that. I have no problem with that. As long as you are not having children out of wedlock and messing up the community, I'm cool with it. But I have no problem. We all mutts anyway. Half of y'all don't even know who y'all daddies is or who your granddaddy is. Real talk. But shout out to my name is Corey. I appreciate you, big dog. I don't have no problem with Terrell Owens saying what he said. Silver Lion says, my mom, American Danish. She was in the USO. We toured across the world and lived in Vegas for 4 years. While she toured there, Pops is Creole and French and Cajun, both musicians. To be honest, family reunions go from snow to cold. Love who loves you. That is a phenomenal breakdown. Thank you, Silver Lion. I appreciate it. And my dog, hold on, let me get the drum roll. Shout out to Black Heights, advancing your career. If you are not subscribed to his channel, he gives so much insight, so much information, and so much game on tech, sales, information technology, continuing to advance and evolve when it comes to the things that you're doing from a professional perspective. Black Heights, advancing your career says, just dropped our sales engineering boot camp on level. Check it out, big bro. I am going to check it out, but also I want you guys to go over there and check it out. Make sure you tap into Black Heights, advancing your career. Hey, Black Heights. It's a lot of people that I coach that I recommend over to you. They go over there. They see what it is that you got going on. They say that you do great things over there. So make sure that y'all continue to rock out and subscribe to Black Heights, advancing your career. He is a really, really dope brother. He knows what he's talking about. He has great conversations. He's absolutely, positively one of the most awesome content creators that's out there. And I think that this man deserves 1 million views and 1 million subscribers on top of it. All right. Shout out to Black Heights, advancing your career. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. And thank you for supporting the platform. I appreciate you. All right, let's continue over into the show. We got a full show over here for you guys, and I'm going to continue to read Super Chats throughout the show. Let's bring Philly to the front of the congregation. I want it so bad, so bad. I wanted to bring Chicago to the front of the congregation because I seen so much happening over in Chicago. Yes, I did. I got video after video. You know, over the weekend, you get all of the videos. I got video after video of what was going on in Chicago. But I seen what was going on in Philadelphia, and I thought that y'all had learned y'all lesson. I thought that we had held Philadelphia accountable for what it is that they was doing. We seen Target closing stores all across the United States of America. Philadelphia wasn't even on the list. Target said, we're going to stick around in Philadelphia. They was over there in Harlem, Houston, Seattle, Portland, 9 stores all across the nation. If I'm not mistaken, Target said that they was going to stick around. They said that they was going to stick around in Philly. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all looted, and so 52 of y'all got arrested as a result of it and charged. Y'all ran up in the Apple store, but you decided to skip a bookstore. Love C says Target isn't leaving Chicago either. Okay. All right. We're going to see if we can work on that. I'm going to see if I can make a phone call to see if Target need to be sitting over in Philly. Let me bring y'all up to speed on what's going on in Philly. I thought that Philly had learned their lesson last week when we brought them to the front of the congregation. Apparently not.
Following a week of widespread looting across Philadelphia and dozens of arrests, police are hoping some new surveillance video will help track down the people involved in the crime spree. Accused looters that still have not been charged. Here's our Ellen Koloje.
The acting police commissioner says the looting that happened in so many neighborhoods hurt so many people, and that's why the police are asking for the public's help to try to track down even more people involved.
No reason why we should think it's okay for people to go in and steal any dollar amount and that be okay in this city. There are too many business owners that work too hard.
Philadelphia police have released new video of the looting that took place all over the city Tuesday and Wednesday night.
That's a Target right there. Don't worry. I'm going to show y'all more footage of what's happening over there. But let's continue.
They want people to take a good hard look at these images to see if they can arrest more people for the violence that took place.
Have y'all seen look. Hold on. Let me show you.
All over the city Tuesday and
You see all of those people right there? Let's continue.
Wednesday night. They want people to take a good hard look.
Look. Somebody said, Anton, why do you have that picture up right here? This guy right here. You don't see the guy over there all the way over into the right-hand side? It don't look like this ain't the exact same outfit that he got on? You telling me the guy that's on the right-hand side don't have this exact same hookup on right here? This is why. This is why. Look at everybody in these videos. Look at every single person that's in these videos. Every person that's in these videos.
Look at these images to see if they can arrest more people.
Bam. Bam. Anton, it's not black people. It's all people. Where? Who? What, when, where, why, and how? Let's go to the next culprit.
For the violence that took place.
If you see this man in this orange shirt, okay. I don't know who the fool was that said, yo, I'm going to wear an orange shirt. I'm going to put the rag over my head. Hold on, let me switch my hat. I'm going to wear the orange shirt, put the rag over my head, leave my face uncovered, and walk into a store and rob it and think that it was cool because they was doing it over there in Oakland, California.
Because acting.
Look at this fool. Look at this fool. Just came from the barbershop, got his North Face on. If anybody has seen this man, call the police immediately. If anybody have seen this man that has a limited mustache, just came from the barbershop, and a North Face on with no undershirt on, he got a coat on in the summertime, in the fall, with no t-shirt and no undershirt on up under it, y'all call the police immediately. Call the Philly police. Let me get the Philly phone number. Give me a second. Philadelphia. Police phone number. Call the 11th Street Philadelphia Police Department on 1300 South 11th Street, number 1, at 215-686-3030. Give me a second. Let me see. Oh, it's busy. Y'all must be out there making phone calls already. It's busy. Let me see if I can call the Philadelphia Police Department on Race Street.
Calling the City of Philadelphia's 311 contact center. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. To continue in English, press 1. For Spanish or language translations, please listen carefully as our options have changed. To contact the Revenue Department for real estate taxes, water billing, or business taxes,
No, it's the wrong.
press 1.
Must be the wrong number.
To report trash-related issues, such as missed trash, illegal dumping, or sanitation violations, press 2. For assistance with the Eclipse system, for business and trade license applications,
Nope.
renewals, or to request a copy of an overdue property certification, press 3. To report quality of life issues in the Kensington area, press 4.
Was they on Kensington?
If you're calling about the Zero Fare program, press 5. For all other calls, please remain on the line.
Okay. Let's see if we can get somebody on.
Your call may be recorded for quality and training purposes. Please continue to hold for the next available agent. You are caller number 4.
All right, so we'll wait.
Agents are currently assisting other callers. Please hold for the next.
So in the meantime, let's continue to play the video. Let's see if we can get somebody on the phone because I'm curious as to what the hell is going on in Philly.
Police Commissioner John Stanford says no matter how upset anyone is with the criminal justice system, this is never the answer.
It should not be done through the way of destroying your own community, your own neighborhood, the neighborhoods that so many people have worked so hard to build over the years in this city, and the long-lasting impact that has.
As we know, free speech is not the same thing as breaking into stores and stealing people, and the people who have been involved in committing crimes during this unrest will be addressed individually.
At a summit on crime Saturday at St. Joe's University, we caught up with Commissioner Stanford and DA Larry Krasner and asked both men to comment about what's next for the people already under arrest.
Look at these people. Look at these criminals. 2 white people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. So 18 people. 1 out of every 9 people that was arrested is black. Do you think that this is a coincidence? I'm sorry. What was your name, ma'am?
Tiana.
Kiana, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. So what I'm trying to understand is, I know that there's been a lot of looting, and I know that I've been following the news, and they've been putting up different mug shots or not mug shots, but surveillance footage of people that has been robbing these stores or looting these stores. Is this the right phone number to call if I can spot one of them? Or should I call a different number? Is there a different number that I should take down?
If you could spot one of them, what do you mean by spot one
If
of them?
I see somebody that the police is advocating for, or the police commissioner is advocating for, that I find or I know on the street, and I see one of them as far as the surveillance footage that they're releasing, what number should I call in order to make sure that these people get arrested?
The district that's posting the mugshot, I would believe.
Well, it's on the news. It's on the news, ma'am.
Okay, so if it's on the news, you can either go. Do you have access to a smartphone, sir?
I do.
Okay, so usually anything that's advertised on 6ABC or Fox 29, they do post it to their website. And
6ABC or Fox 29?
Or NBC News, whatever news channel you're seeing it on, they usually post it to their site, and they will have follow-up information. The only other thing I could tell you is I can give you the number to the police headquarters so that they could possibly tell you if they have direct contact and what, say, for example, a lot of the people were caught in different police districts. So it depends on who posted that mugshot, right? But
Well, it's not a mugshot, it's surveillance footage. So they haven't been arrested yet.
Surveillance footage, mugshots, anything of that nature, they usually tell you what district it's in.
Okay. So can you give me the phone number? I want to make sure that I have that.
Okay. So police headquarters is going to be 215.
Okay, 215.
686.
686.
3388.
3388.
And also, if you want to go to phillypolice.com/districts.
Okay, great.
It will also show you where the surveillance is from, what district.
Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that I need to know?
That's all I could provide, sir.
Listen,
anything else that I can assist with?
I appreciate you. Thank you for doing a phenomenal job. You are very, very, very helpful.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks for calling Philly 311 as well.
Bye-bye. So, do all of that. 215-686-3388. If you want to get some people in trouble and you want to make sure that they get arrested. Now, listen, I've already had this conversation with y'all, and I said, listen, you guys know who the killers, the dealers, the stealers, and the destroyers of your community are. Don't sit here and hold anybody else accountable. Don't sit here and talk about gentrification in your neighborhood. Oh, my God, they're going to come and clean everybody up. No, fix your own neighborhood. Get little man up out of there. Make sure that he get held accountable for his actions. Stop sitting here having his no snitch policy, and you're not the one that's participating in crime. You should not be aiding and abetting criminals, okay? You are a citizen. It's no reason that we should be subjecting ourselves to this nonsense on a regular basis. All right? Let's continue.
We're going to prosecute people in an even-handed way. We're not going to let any judge who thinks there is a caste system and some people get better treatment than others, we're not going to let any judge disturb the peace of this city.
The DA calls it individual justice and says everyone involved in the looting will be looked at on a case-by-case basis.
We'll look carefully to see whether this is a one-off situation and they're fundamentally law-abiding people. Hold them accountable one way.
Look at this nonsense.
They are criminals, and they're all about taking advantage of some sort of unrest for their own benefit, and they will be prosecuted another way.
Commissioner,
I'm so surprised now that we're doing away with the PC narrative in these blue cities, and we're just calling it like it is. These are not, as Brandon Johnson would describe, large gatherings of people that are disappointed in the justice system. These are people that are opportunists, anarchists, and are absolutely positively destroying our neighborhoods, our communities, and our stores. And they're running up the theft bill, and they're being evil. That's what they are. This is what they are. Real talk. We are not going to sit here and keep talking about these people are just having large gatherings. They are criminals. They are criminals. This is why I don't go with that whole narrative. Oh, man, support all black people. Give them all rep. Who? Who qualifies? What is your record? How many times have you stolen? How many people have you robbed? And how many people have you killed? How many drugs have you sold? Oh, man, I sold drugs because it's the CIA and they brought him into the neighborhood. Stop it. Stop it.
All new tonight, criminals targeted a Boost Mobile store in Philadelphia's West Oak Lane 3 days in a row. Surveillance video shows an employee staying calm and standing back as a man police say who was armed with a knife just clears out the cash register. Action News reporter Brianna Smith live for us at police headquarters tonight. And Brianna, you found out the owner put a stop to the crime, though, on the third day.
That's right, Shar. He felt like he had to take matters into his own hands. The owner said that he lost more than $25,000 this month alone due to robberies and more than $75,000 over the past 6 months. And now the owner is closing stores to protect employees and his business as the suspect remains at large. The Boost Mobile on Ogontz Avenue and West Oak Lane is open, but the doors remain locked until customers approach the store. The owner says it's the latest security measure since this location was targeted 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. So just every day they be like, hey, fam, you ready to go get some more money? We got to go hit Boost Mobile. Like it's the bank. Like it's the bank. 3 days in a row. No matter how, every day they just walking in like, hey, fam, I got a knife. I got a knife. I'm coming to take everything that you've worked for in your entire life. I'm coming to get it right now. 3 days back to back to back to back to back to back to back in a row. They said we coming to get all of that Boost Mobile money.
13th, so we had a robber who came in the store, and there was an employee working over here. He showed the knife, and then he walked away with some cash.
The same situation happened the next evening, so owner Ankit Tiwari was prepared for day 3. He asked Philadelphia police to come to the area, but no officers responded.
I knew to save my store and my property and my employee, I have to take the matters in my hand.
That's when Tiwari chased the suspect away with a bat, as shown in this surveillance video.
It took like 28 minutes for them to came to the area for the robbery call. So I went ahead and I filed a police complaint.
Tiwari is not only worried about the slow police response time, but the future of his business. He says in September, 7 of his stores were robbed, with the latest happening this week during the looting. The 6 ABC neighborhood safety tracker shows there have been more than 5,300 robberies in Philadelphia the past 12 months.
5,300 robberies? 5,300 robberies? But you know what's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Now, let's say, for example, you walk into the store and I meme over there, or whatever the heck his name is. He's sitting there and he's fearing for his life because you ran in with a knife. Now, let's say he peel your muffin top back, right? Let's say he peel your muffin top back. You know what's going to happen? Y'all going to be out there protesting. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be out there protesting. You're going to be out there holding other people accountable for your inability to get your own little man in line. You're going to say, this. Let me give you the rundown. He was a good person. He ain't never did nothing to nobody. And it wasn't his fault. And if we would have just gave him a chance, it was no reason why they should have peeled his muffin top back. And it's nothing that's worth a life. Nothing and nobody is worth a life. No amount of money that you work for your entire life. Nothing that your ability to put food on the table for your children. Nothing is worse than peeling man's muffin top back, even though he robbed the store 3 days in a row and he was coming back for a fourth. I can't believe it. Listen, y'all gonna have 1,000 live streams about the latest person that got executed on behalf of police brutality, and we need to continue to defund our police. But at the same time, you ain't gonna have no conversations about little man coming in there and taking over. Oh, that's just business as usual. We ain't got no. Notice how, look. Notice how there's never any, outside of the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to the 2,000 plus people in here that's watching on a regular basis. Give me my 30 million. Nobody ever has a conversation or a live stream about man running over and knocking over heads. It's cool. Sell drugs, knock over some heads. I can't believe that they holding Young Thug accountable and they got him locked up. Free Thug. Nobody trips. If I go out there and I get robbed tomorrow, it's my fault. If they pull a gun on me and I peel your muffin top back, it's my fault. Y'all keep talking about victim blaming and victim shaming. This is what I see happening every single day. You protest against the thing that's best for you, and you celebrate the thing that's worse for you. You say defund the police, but then you say, where are the police? Y'all was out there with them signs all during the pandemic when y'all was supposed to be saying 3 feet, no check. Everybody went out and got the vid at the same time because y'all was all protesting with each other. And now y'all want to start holding officials accountable for what it is that you was unable to do as far as raising your kids right. Let me show you what they was doing over in Target. This is Target in Philly. This is why we're going to go ahead and call Target. Hey, somebody get the Target number to Philly and then let them know that we're going to be calling them and we're going to be protesting for them to shut down and to be removing that store out of Philly. This is what was going on at the Target in Philly. Target said we was closing 9 stores throughout the nation because of theft and breaking stuff. And then they peeled off the closer thing, the security measure, and you got all of these black people running in and tearing up and destroying the nation. They're destroying the nation. This is them breaking into the Target. Starbucks, nope, you can't have no more Starbucks. No more Starbucks for you. No more Starbucks for you. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Look at the people in there. What are you going to steal? What are you going to steal? Look at these people. Look at them. Look at all of the people. Girls, guys, all of them. Okay, here's our real number. If you have any information about the burglary or the suspects, this is what I want y'all to do, Philly. I want y'all to call the Northeast Detective Division at 215-686-3153 or 215-686-3154. To submit a tip, call 215-686-TIPS. 215-686-TIPS. or text the tip to the Philadelphia Police Department tip line. Text it at 773-847. If you see Man and he got on a new Target sweatshirt and he didn't pay for it, text it. Text it. If you see Keisha and she got a new Starbucks cup in her hand and you know she didn't pay for it, text it to 773-847 Northeast Detective Division and submit a tip at the tip line. We are done. We are done with this. We are done continuing to support all of these raggedy people that is not adding no value into our lives. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to move over with the show. Because LA County, I got to bring y'all to the front of the congregation before we start talking about the money. Mo Smurf 171 says, I just became a bag chaser. I was having trouble figuring out which way I was going in information tech. You just made it clear. Cybersecurity. Bless up. Shout out to all of the new bag chasers. Link is in the Patreon. Link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. My dog Enforcer 2K9 is in the building. Says, why does other people do it too? Make everything acceptable to black folks. You know what they say. If other people are jumping off the bridge, you gonna do it too? Yep. That's what they gonna say. Jermaine Cole says Walmart had 6 times the theft last year at $3 billion and is still mad 5 times the profit of Target. Like you, tell us Target work harder. So you saying that it's Target's fault that they getting theft and robbery. It's Target's fault. Walmart had 6 times the theft last year at $3 billion and still mad 5 times the profit of Target. Like you tell us, Target work harder. So it's not the people's fault. It's Target's fault. You know what the funniest part about that is, though? It reminds me of people that say that they hate the fact that they got to put security glass up. And all of a certain demographic are the ones that open up all of the liquor stores and it's a food desert in your neighborhood. I'm going to just leave that there. Shout out to Jermaine Cole. I appreciate you for the super chat. David Simpson is in the building, says, but the store got insurance, Anton. And then I hope they take all of their insurance money and they take it with them and they move out of your neighborhood. Shout out to my dog 187 in the building, says, so what if they have insurance? Stop the fuckery. Stop it. No, keep doing it. Keep doing it. And then keep telling me about how it is that you guys have to make sure that you circulate your dollar in the same neighborhood. Come on, man. Listen, let's continue. Let's continue to run up with the show. So, in the midst of all of this, including what's going on in Oakland and Chicago and Philly and all across the United States of America, in which multiple different stores are choosing to shut down, Los Angeles said that we're going to take a page out of Chicago's book. Now, some of you are familiar with multiple different live streams that I did as far as what was coming in Chicago and what was recently implemented. Shout out to MLK. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. Some of you are familiar, right? And that familiarity, it was in the name of what they called the Safe T Act. Now, the Safe T Act, in our language, from a C student's perspective, was called the Purge. It was called the Purge Act, right? And the Purge Act basically did not punish criminals for their criminality, and they prevented them from being held accountable and being held in jail for the things that they did. And so what LA County decided to do, they said, listen, we see you over there in Chicago. We don't want you to take the baton and say that y'all better than us when it comes to being the worst things in society. And all of these mayors and all of these legislators and these governors, they said, listen, I see you one, I'll raise you another. I see you one, I'll raise you another. LA County said, we want the Safety Act over here, but we going to rename it the Zero Bail Policy. Let's talk about it.
Developing news at this hour, several SoCal communities on edge and a group of local cities seeking a court order to block LA County's new no cash bail plan.
That new policy went into effect at midnight and eliminates bail for most people arrested of nonviolent or non-serious crimes. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is live in Glendora, which is one of those cities involved in a lawsuit, and she's going to break it all down. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. What crime is not serious? What crime is not serious? At what point do you say that a crime committed against you is not serious? Man, if somebody steal $5 out of my studio, I'm going to be like, hey, don't let them back up and don't let them come back up here, and make sure you call the police because I want my money back. Because you got to teach a lesson. At what point is a crime not serious? When did any crime not become serious? So it's not serious because it's committed against you. They took your stuff, but they didn't slap you in the face, so it's not as serious anymore. Let's continue.
Lauren and Pedro, good morning to you both. Well, this is a major change to the LA County court systems. As you mentioned, it would make those who are arrested with nonviolent, non-serious crimes allowed to be released immediately, meaning they will not be held on any bond, no bail. So we've been speaking to folks all morning long about it, and they say they have more questions about this policy, questions that bring about a fair amount of concern, like what does nonviolent crimes exactly mean and who is deciding that? People would say this is for a non-violent crime.
What defined what is non-violent? That's the problem.
I said the same thing. Define what's non-violent. What is a non-violent crime?
Would you say that someone coming and trying to break into my house is a non-violent issue? And then what happens if they break in, but they didn't harm me, but I'm freaking out? You know, because he's in my home. What's to say, you know, that's nonviolent, right?
Okay, so let's get into the details about this policy. It allows those arrested for low-level nonviolent offenses to be released at the location of their arrest or booked and then released with a promise to appear at arraignment in court.
So you telling me that the criminals make a promise, they pinky swear. It's so dumb. Oh my God. So the criminals, if they get caught, because most times when somebody do something and when they finally get arrested for it, it wasn't the first time that they did it. This is just the first time that they get caught. Cool. So if they get caught, then they have to pinky swear and they say, I promise on everything that I'm going to come back and first of all, I'm not going to do the crime again. And then secondly, I'm going to come back so that you can sentence me and send me to jail. Who thought that this was going to work? Yo, you arrested me. I got caught this time, but I promise I'm coming back. Listen, just let me go. We ain't going to trip about it. I promise I'm coming back, bro. I'm going to come through so you can give me the book, get the book thrown at me and sentence me. I promise you, bro. Don't even trip about it.
The LA County Superior Court says these new protocols are designed to rely less on the arrestee's ability to pay for bond and more on the risk to the public or to their victim. This is a policy that was debated during the County Board of Supervisors meeting last week, with some supervisors supporting this policy while others, like Sheriff Robert Luna, voicing his concerns.
When they see or hear about people being released immediately after an arrest, it negatively impacts their confidence in our criminal justice system. If you can't go to work because your car was stolen and you realize that even the person who stole it is caught and they will be released without posting bail before you can even get back to your car, you might question if the system is fair or not.
So you can get your car took. No, let's just go ahead and run it up. Because if you're going to take one, you got to take them all. So they could take everybody in the neighborhood's car. But before y'all can even get the insurance policy right? And before y'all can even call the insurance company and report it stolen, let's say that somebody caught them and they crashed the car and then okay, cool. So you going to be back out on the street before we can even get our insurance to say that, yeah, we're going to fix your car. This is the dumbest thing. And whoever wrote this law and whoever supported this law and whoever voted these people in, this is quite possibly the dumbest thing that I've heard all year long. Of all of the things that I've heard, there's only one other thing that I can think of right off the top of my head that's worse than it. And this is this whole migrant crisis. And actually, the zero bail policy is worse than the migrant crisis because at least with the migrant crisis, we know that there's an agenda attached to it and it's somebody that's getting the bag for it. Who getting the bag for the zero bail policy? We know that it comes back to the money when it comes to the migrant crisis, right? Listen, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Let me go ahead and put this back up on the screen. All of these people right here, shout out to my dog Jorge, shout out to Jesus, shout out to, I couldn't even pronounce some of these other people. My man said, hey man, I know one contractor, he said, hey man, I ain't even go with him. Don't worry about it. Anton ain't trying to get in no trouble. One contractor hit me up and he said, Anton, yo fam, I got some Venezuelans that's working for me on deck. Biden just approved them. Biden just approved for them to be able to get legal status to be able to work in the country. We got them for the cheap. We got them for the low. I said, nah, my people over there on the Millionaire Morning Show are going to be feeling some type of way if I got these Venezuelans working for us because Biden approved them. You know what I'm saying? He said, bro, they just came straight over from Chicago. They came straight over from New York and Chicago. We got it on deck. We good. I said, nah. We not going to be sitting here I don't know who's legal and who not. I have to make sure that I'm on top of the game because ain't nobody trying to fumble the bag out here. You know what I'm saying? I got a budget. The budget calls for us to be able to break ground and take care of business. This was just this morning. I said, Anton ain't going to do it. See, at least we know that there's an agenda tied to the migrant crisis, whether it's political, whether it's continue to maintain power, whether it's to continue to fatten the pockets of whoever the contractors are, that then is getting all of this egregious amount of money. But the one thing that we know, and two things is for certain, is who does this no bail policy benefit? Just curious, because I know that it all comes back down to the money, but I'm a C student, so I'm trying to figure it out.
We want to make sure we are releasing the right people, and our previous bail system didn't guarantee that. We could release people who could pay their way out. And as I'm listening today and hear about the magistrate process, that there's a new layer of evaluation, it's a new tool in the toolbox to make sure that we are actually evaluating people to make sure that people who are released are the right people.
So these are the counties. They said, listen, we're not just going to subject ourselves to what's going on over there with Gavin Newsom, that y'all reelected again. These are the people, or these are the counties that is filing a lawsuit for the zero bail policy. Arcadia, Artesia, Covina, Downey, Glendora, City of Industry, Lakewood, Lake La Verne, Palmdale, Santa Fe Springs, Vernon, and Whittier.
All right, here's a full list of the dozen cities involved in this lawsuit so far.
Reading the super chat shortly.
You can see there cities include Arcadia, Covina, Palmdale, and Whittier, just to name a few. Now back.
I can read better than she can, and I'm a C student. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna pick the ones that she can pronounce the best. And Whittier, come on, baby. This is live TV. We got to kick it.
Here live in Glendora, of course, we know that this is also one of the cities that is involved in that lawsuit. The mayor speaking to us over the weekend saying he hopes more cities hop onto that lawsuit and join them. And he says he also hopes that the judge issues a decision sometime this week.
Let's go over and see what's happening over here in this other part, all right?
We are just hours away from the implementation of a new zero bail policy, and now a dozen cities in LA County are trying to stop it from taking effect. It's all happening against a backdrop of smash and grab robberies that have plagued Southern California for months.
Yeah, KTLA 5's Omar Lewis is live in Glendora tonight. He's got reaction to this last-minute legal fight.
We're going to get the reactions of the people.
Omar?
Yeah, Rick and Kareen, that zero bail policy will apply to...
Hey, man, where your stash at, bro? Hold on. You're not going to be sitting here standing in front of the camera with all of that makeup on and no stash on, bro. Where your beard at? Where your peach fuzz? Listen, I'm cool with no beard, but at the very least, I have a hard time trusting people with no stash. I'm not even going to kid you. I think that this is a trauma that has been put into me from the people that came before me because I have no reason to be able to substantiate why it is that I stand for this. But, bro, where your stash at, bro? You got all that makeup on and no stash. And them pale lips. If your lips is the same color as your face and you ain't got no stash, because I can't tell who talking and you looking like a veggie tail out there.
Misdemeanors and low-level felonies, but tonight the city of Glendora is joining 11 other cities in filing that lawsuit to hopefully stop this motion from happening, is what they tell us. They call it a threat against public safety. LA County's new zero bail policy is all set to start on Sunday, allowing suspects with non-violent or non-serious crimes to be cited and released. Previously, they would have been held on bond. For Glendora Mayor Gary Boyer, it's a policy he can't support.
We're hoping that we can get a ruling relatively.
Now that looked like a strong white man right there. That looks like a man that might have been previously a sheriff. He probably did some time in the Army, or he was in the military. He may have even served in the Air Force. He got the buzz cut. He got the gray coming out of the sides. He's probably a good father, a military man. He's not going for it. This looks like a straight jaw. Gary Boyer, mayor of Glendora.
Quickly, which is why we just got 11 cities together.
Glendora is now one of a dozen cities in LA County filing a lawsuit spearheaded by the city of Whittier. They're all hoping to block the zero bail policy or at least postpone implementation.
But our big hope would be to overturn the zero bail policy, but at least to put a pause on it so that we have the ability to take a harder look at it and find out whether or not this is the right thing to do.
The new protocols will be put to the test quickly.
Not outside the Gucci store.
As Los Angeles has dealt with a recent increase in retail thefts.
Seeing that there's been a lot of robbery in local malls, local department stores, it's saddening to see it happen and people getting away with it.
For business owners like Ronnie Salazar, owner of the Mercantile Collective in downtown Glendora, the new zero bail policy comes with a bit of concern.
Take them clothes off the street, ma'am. They stealing clothes, wigs, Boost mobile phones, Obama phones. They stealing everything but books. The only people that's safe out in the neighborhoods over there in Philly, Chicago, Oakland, LA, wherever it is that you are, the only place that's safe is bookstores. Nobody is going to steal out. Nobody be stealing out of the library. They still return them. They be like, man, we don't even like this.
Where do you learn, right? Where is the learning process? It's very saddening to see that policy could potentially affect so many businesses.
Los Angeles County Supervisor Holly Mitchell is a supporter of the policy and
of course it's a black woman.
Reads in part, pretrial release should depend on a person.
Look at it. Hold on. Let's bring it back. Los Angeles County Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell is a strong supporter of all of the different people that's on the platform that's sitting here having a conversation, talking about what it is that they shouldn't be doing and why we shouldn't be doing it. We got Holly J. Mitchell, a strong black woman that is absolutely in support of it. Oh my God. Tell me that I could not have predicted this. If we had to send a profiler out and say, okay, who's the number one person that's for this to make sure that this doesn't happen? She said, not my grandchild, not my baby, not my baby. We definitely gonna make sure that we get us a zero bail policy because man didn't deserve to be arrested in the first place.
Of the policy and release this quote that reads in part, pretrial release should depend on a person's risk to public safety. Our justice system should not be for sale. We cannot conflate bail with accountability. Our communities deserve accountability that matches the offense and investments in community interventions.
Sound like Black Lives Matters, right?
that help prevent crime from happening. But Glendora Police Captain Chris Stabio says the new policy diminishes the job of local law enforcement officers.
That it makes it very difficult when you arrest someone for an offense. You're forced to release them, whereas before you could have kept them in custody. And they go back out and they commit another crime, sometimes within hours, sometimes within a day. But it all affects the victims.
And that new policy, again, is set to take effect tomorrow on October 1st. Meanwhile, Glendora...
Yesterday. Happened on a Sunday when y'all was sleeping. Remember when you slept in, went to church, said it's the first Sunday of the month, went and took your cracker and your juice?
Glendora's mayor tells us that they expect more cities to join in on this lawsuit over the next few days. Of course...
All right, I don't want to talk to the guy with no stash on no more. So basically, this is what's happening across the country. And it's important for me to evolve the show. And we're going to have days where we primarily talk more about money, and then days where we talk more about what's going on and how it comes back to the money and federal policy and politics, crime, what's happening on the local levels, the whole gamut. We want to talk about everything over here at the Millionaire Morning Show. And I got one more thing that I want to go over, and I definitely want to read the super chat shortly. But more importantly, here's my question to you guys. How much longer are you willing to endure through this? And what do you think is going to happen on the other end of it? Because anytime you implement a policy, anytime you make a change, anytime you implement a law, anytime you make a change to your life, you're supposed to do it with the expectation that you're creating something better for the people that come after you or the future of what's going on in that community. So if you let the migrant crisis continue to go unchecked and unhinged, and you let a zero bail policy continue to be implemented, and you let criminals continue to run amok in the city, and nobody is calling the police on the people that's doing the crimes, what is then going to be the end result that come along with it? Because again, we're not here just to be here. We're here to create a better space for our children or ourselves much later in life. I'm going to let you sit on that for a minute while you go through your zero bail policy. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to move over into the money. MLK says, don't want to get targeted. Don't name it Target. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you for contributing to the platform. Jonathan Anderson. Who? Give me a second, y'all. I got to go and see who's coming in. Who's coming in here? Who's that beeping in my window? Wow. White man said, I was looking for Maryland Horn. I ain't got no Marylands up here. At least not right now, I don't. Jonathan Anderson in the building says, AD, LA County is on fire. I'm from Long Beach, and I know all about it. I want to know when you coming to Phoenix. I'm doing a whole tour next year. We literally are putting it together, and we're going to be releasing it soon, hopefully within the next month, because we want to make sure that we run through all of the different scenarios and cities, and we want to line it with the schedule and all of that. Yeah, shout out to Jonathan Henderson. I appreciate you. David Simpson Jr. says, LA County just told Chicago, hold my Ciroc. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate it. Sean, let's see. Sean 1928 says, we can thank Jay-Z and Meek Mill for the bail reform. While they live in safe communities with security. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Big M Dub is in the building, says, is the Flash from the 5 Heart? Shout out to you, Big M Dub. I appreciate you. Chris Moore is in the building. Shout out to Chris. Chris says, I'm going to drop this in the collection plate and make sure that you take care of it. I appreciate you, Chris. Very much appreciated. My dog, Tony Williams, in the building. Shout out to Tone. Says, good morning, Anton. You know this is going on in Chicago. 2 facts. Illinois was the inaugural state. Shaking my damn head. The purge is imminent. We covering it. We keeping the people abreast of what's going on. Bag for Bag says, I can bet my bottom dollar Holly got a family member or a lover in jail. I would take that bet also, my friend. Abba's Child says, what up, though, AD? Congratulations on your 200,000 plus subscribers. Way to go. Thank you, Abba's Child. I appreciate you. You are very much appreciated. Derek T in the building says, Ty, you see Atlanta Waffle House employees are demanding $25 an hour, 24/7 security, and an end to mandatory meal deductions. What? Y'all got to send that to my email. I need to know about this. Waffle House employees demanding $25 an hour. We're going to address that tomorrow. I need to see what's going on. Oh, that's going to be a good one. I'm definitely going to be addressing that. Shout out to my dog, Derek T in the building. I appreciate you. Let me continue on with the show. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications. I've been meaning to cover this all last week, but I got a little bit bogged down with other stories that were a little bit more salacious, but I definitely want to bring y'all back to the front. As far as having a conversation. Now, this man is a California teacher making roughly $115,000 a year. So, let me ask y'all a question. Should teachers, especially over in California, make $115,000 a year? Now, I have not watched this. Apparently, this was released on CNBC. So, I'm looking forward to finding out whether or not he can even survive in Orange County on $115,000 a year. I know y'all pay an egregious amount of taxes out there in California. Y'all pay an egregious amount of taxes over there in California. Out of control taxes out there in California. And so I need to know whether or not he's making this money and he's doing the right thing with it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get it rocking, y'all.
For me, wealth is about having time and freedom and a quality of life to do what you want to do. It's really not about chasing the money, but it's about having the time and the freedom to do what I have a passion for. And that's one of the main reasons why I got into teaching is I felt like I could do it for free. Hi, my name is Jay Byun. I'm 31 years old. I'm a teacher and basketball coach here in Orange County, and I make $115,000 a year.
Hey, 100,000 ain't 100,000 no more. 100,000 just ain't 100,000 no more. I'm trying to tell y'all. Everybody keeps saying. I remember all of the women used to say I want to make six figures or whatever. It ain't 100,000 no more. Also, on top of that, have y'all noticed that everybody got their own definition for everything, and nobody is all on the same page? It's a different definition for wealth, different definition for friendship, different definition for love, different definition for marriage, different definition for relationships, a different definition for black, different definition for white, different definition for every single thing that's happening across the board. Everybody has their own definition of everything, but let's continue. Reading super chat shortly. Look a little nasty. I don't know what was that.
Born in South Korea. I moved here in 1996. I moved here when I was 4 years old, and I grew up in the city of Fullerton. My parents always provided for me. They had
California. You got to go to college, graduate, and you got to get a teaching. I don't know. You need to complete a teaching program. How long is a teaching program? Does anybody know anything about that? In California, you got to go out and do your thing, and then you got to complete a teaching program on top of it?
In California, you have to get a teacher credential for about 1.5 years. The teacher credential is
you got to do a whole nother 1.5 years? Nah, fam. I'm not doing it.
It's about $15,000 to $20,000. And actually, my parents were able to help me out during that time, and I promised them that I'd pay them back, which I have. So this year, I made $115,000 from teaching and coaching. Any coach in our district gets a set amount of money for coaching. Since I'm the girls basketball coach, I get my teaching base salary and I get a stipend of $4,500 during the wintertime. I know.
So he picked quite possibly the worst thing that he could ever do. This is just me being an a-hole to an extent. Who in the world would ever want to coach girls basketball unless your daughter was on the team? Who in the world would ever want to coach girls basketball unless your daughter was on the team? You know what I'm saying? I would never, ever in a million years want to coach girls basketball. Nobody want to see that horrible product. It gets even worse the higher up you go, but I guess he was passionate about it. Had to be a straight up money play. Listen, you could not give me $4,500 to coach a girls basketball team unless my daughter was on the team. So you get a $4,500 stipend, but he makes $115,000 a year. So that just assumes that he's really making about $110,000 a year, right? Plus the $4,500, and you got to go and travel. No, I ain't doing that, bro. I can't do it.
I know some people in other states will look at this salary and be blown away, but the cost of living in Orange County is the reason why, you know, these salaries have increased so much.
So they have the same problems as you guys have because their salary is paid out over 10 months. And somebody told me that they have the option to choose how they get paid. Like whether or not they want to get paid all 12 months out of the year, whether they want to just have it 10 months or something like that. But I could be wrong about that. That may be based off of what state, what county, and what district, and what school system you're a part of. Who knows? But in order to make up for the difference, a lot of times, because your pay is tied up with not necessarily how much you make, but tied up based off of your lifestyle, they have to take on additional jobs and additional opportunities, especially in the summertime, in order to make up for it, which is one of the reasons why they then become basketball coaches or whatever, right? But let's continue. Hold on, wait. So he decided to move back home last year, and he making $115,000 a year. Hold on, let me say that again. He decided to move back home last year, and he was making $115,000 a year. He moved back home with his parents. Okay, so let me back up because I've been having this conversation with y'all for the longest, and I said, listen, what I want you guys to do is to make sure that you minimize your expenses, increase your assets. You can still have fun and live your lifestyle, but you do not have to do anything for anybody that do not care anything about you. That man moved home. Smart man. Smart man. Do not become a part of the system. Own the system. Do not become a part of the system. Own the system. That man said, listen, my parents like me here. I'm moving back home. My parents like me here. I'm moving back home. I'm taking my $115,000 and I'm taking my talents to South Beach. You know what I'm saying?
So my goal every month is to save about half of my take-home salary.
Smart man.
That sounds aggressive, but living at home, I've wanted to really take an aggressive approach towards saving and spending. And then the other 50%, I try to use it towards living expenses, utilities, food, entertainment, and just quality of life.
Let me look
my
at this
spending in
budget.
August was a little erratic because I had to get an emergency root canal, and I made.
All right, so he had to get an emergency root canal, but we'll get there in a second. So we know he had to get an emergency root canal. So so that's the $579. All right, so his budget, he makes about $8,000 a month. I'm assuming, based off of what's being shown here after taxes. And so he spent $8,200, $3,100 of it. It probably would have been $3,600, $3,700 of it would have been going towards savings and investments. Very smart man. Very, very smart man. The majority of his money is going towards savings and investments. Discretionary, that means he just out here flipping it, tricking it, spending it on these hoes. Spent $579 on the root canal, housing and utilities. He give his parents basically $1,000. He probably pay a utility bill or something and then give him some money. He go out to eat, $564 a month, personal loan, $210. He should just be paying that personal loan off. I would be throwing everything that I can, all of that discretionary income over into the personal loan because I'm not going to be paying no personal loan. $200 in gas, $116 in subscriptions and memberships, $80 for car insurance. Where do they get this $80 car insurance at? How y'all getting $80 in car insurance? Man, my car insurance is like $1,800 a month. I kid you not, bro. How are y'all getting such cheap car insurance? I'm trying to figure that junk out. How are y'all getting such cheap car insurance? I am so confused how y'all got this. What are y'all paying in car insurance in the chat? Let me know what y'all paying. I'm curious. Yep, I'm paying about $1,850 a month in car insurance. $1,850 a month in car insurance. That is for sure. Shout out to Progressive. Just taking me to the bank, boy. Progressive is taking me to the rack. 218, 300, 100, 143, 180, 130, 200, 300, 177 for 2 cars, 300. Am I doing something wrong? $750 a month. You paying $750, $450 for 2 vehicles, $1,200 a year. $400, $600, $90, $450. What am I doing wrong? Am I off? Look at this. It's my user ID. Why is this not face logging in? Why am I paying so much? I don't like this. I got to figure out what's going on.
Made a last-minute decision to purchase a couch.
Toyota Corolla AD, so you got a Benz. Yeah, I got 4. I only got 4 cars though. I got like the best coverage you can get. I got 4 cars. Because I got the Porsche, the Benz, the Tesla, and then it runs up even more because they're electric cars. And then I got the Hyundai. Oh, and then I got the Impala. I got 5 vehicles on it. I got 5 vehicles. 5 vehicles on it. I got to figure something out. I can't keep paying $1,850 a month in car insurance. That don't even make no sense.
Couch for my
I'm about to find out what's going on.
For most of my expenses, I try to use my credit card so that I can rack up reward points. The only debt that I'm in right now is I'm paying for my solar panels that I just purchased for my parents' house.
That's what his debt is. So that's what he's allocating towards the house. He's paying for solar panels that he got for his parents, and that's why he's paying almost $1,000 a month. Okay.
Yeah, the solar panels were about $44,000. It's a 20-year plan, but I'm hoping to pay it off sooner.
Got a 20-year plan for pulling solar panels. You want to know why he's also investing solar panels for that house for his parents? Because he's going to inherit the house. The reason that he's paying for solar panels for his house for his parents is because he's going to be inheriting the house one day. That's why he's paying for solar panels, and it's on a 20-year plan.
Over time, if I can pay it off quicker, I definitely will. I have some more aggressive investment accounts that are invested into stocks, but I also have set aside a Roth individual retirement account.
Smart man. And he tithes, so he gives it to the church, and he covers his parents' phone bills.
My parents initially tried to, be defensive and say, we don't need it, we don't want it. But I just kind of forcefully gave it to them, and I could tell that that really meant a lot to them. For me, I wanted to kind of reciprocate that.
They're working together.
For myself, whether I'm with the kids Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday I'm preparing for the new week and getting ready for new game plans. So outside of work, I try to spend my time recharging and growing myself. So one of the things that I love to do is reconnecting with friends. So we try to golf, hang out, spend time with my community. I know my time with my parents is running out soon. I think I'm probably gonna move out in the next 6 to 12 months, in my opinion, but I'm gonna try to maximize that time with them. I feel like there might be a lot of people that are in the same shoes, right? And we have parents that we're thinking about, and we have a finite number of resources and we have a finite amount of money. You know, how we choose to spend that can often sometimes be perceived as like, oh, what is that guy doing? You know, I'm 31, I'm still living at my parents. But for me, I try to block out that noise, and really it goes back to me wanting to just provide for my parents and have the time and the freedom to do what I want and not feel like I'm squeezed on money or squeezed on resources.
And that's the key. You got to block out the noise from the people that actually don't have your best interests at heart, and stop focusing on what everybody else think about you and start doing it. Everybody's journey is an individual journey. Every single person's journey is an individual journey. Your journey is going to be much different than somebody else's. But if you are doing it because somebody else's is going to tease you, or they feeling a certain type of way about you, or all of that stuff, right? You cannot be focused on what everybody else has got going on. You got to focus on you. You know what I'm saying?
When we finish our season, I know it's filled with tears often because we've put in so much time, and when we finish up that last game in the locker room, it gets emotional because we spent so much time together. And so those are the moments where I remember like why I went into teaching and why I went into coaching. I can see myself teaching for the rest of my life if I really wanted to. Another thing that I can see myself doing is possibly going into administration or continuing on in this coaching gig and look for cool opportunities in the future, whatever that may be.
Yep, that's how much my stuff is. Let me pull this up because I'm a little perplexed right now. I'm a little bothered by what it is that I got going on here. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some car insurance in it. Let me see what's going on out here in these streets. Policy. Balance forward, progressive, billing activity, upcoming payments. I gotta find out what the heck is going on here, man. This can't be right. This cannot be an accurate statement. Hold on, let me see what's happening. Give me a second. I just want to make sure that we good. Zero bail, looting, 115. All right, we're going to bring that down there from there. See if I can get some understanding and some explaining shit going on over in here, because I'm trying to understand what the heck is happening. They say it went down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, man, I'm paying every single month. Automatic payment, card notification sent, automatic payment, card notification sent. Upcoming payments. Let's pull that up. 10/13, 1,800. 11/13, 12/13, and 1/13. It's $1,800 a month. Man, I ain't got time for this nonsense. I'm not about to be sitting here playing no games with y'all. Thanks for your payment on September 13th of 18. Look at this, $1,850 a month. And then they're going to tell me, I called them one time and I said, yo, why is my car insurance higher than everybody else's? oh, you got 2 electric cars and your cars is very, very, I'm like, man, I ain't got time for this nonsense. So this is the additional costs that come along with electrification that they're not telling you about. I got to make some phone calls, man. This just don't make no sense. Oh, and you have a daughter that's about to become driving age. I said, all right, fam. I ain't got time for it. Anyways, the show is over for today. I want to make sure that I add value into you guys' lives every single day. And so let me read a few more super chats and then we're going to get it. Maybe y'all can help me with my car insurance. You know what I'm saying? Out here in these streets. Jesus. Jeff Jones says this is the best time in history to be a criminal with laws like that. Thank you for Jeff Jones for helping me out with my car insurance. Brock says pass a love offering. I appreciate you for helping me out with my car insurance. DJ Ace Production says, Anton, we in Michigan, say less. Yeah, Michigan and Florida is literally the worst states for car insurance. So I don't know what the hell is happening out here. We need to get our governor to do something. David Simpson Jr. says, try Haggerty for the Chevy. The rest seems about right for full coverage on new vehicles, and EVs tend to be totaled in a lot of cases. And my cars is paid for too. Right? You know, that's all I pay is car insurance. Shout out to David Simpson. And then Being a Man says, hey, Anton, how do you stay focused and disciplined in a front panel of 2 to 3 and answering questions just like an interview? I look at each individual. I answer the question that the person asked me. I'm not answering the panel. I'm talking to the person that asked me the question. They should be intimidated by me. Y'all know what y'all need to also start doing? Let me say this also. Y'all know what y'all also need to start doing? Y'all need to start recording yourselves and then watching it over and hearing how it is that you communicate. Record yourself. It's just for you. You ain't got to put it out for anybody else. Just vlog every day. Or just sit and talk about what your day is like. Or express how you feel or whatever like that. And then just start having conversations and evolving your language based off of how it is that you see things, right? If you want to also start to talk about a panel, walk up to a woman that's with her friends and start a conversation out of thin air. Walk up to a group of women. I'm telling you, going out every day, it helps. It helps you with your confidence. It helps you to be able to communicate. It helps all the way across the board. Go outside, walk up to a group of women, and just start making a conversation out of thin air and see what happens. By the time you get in front of that interview panel, that junk gonna be like nothing. It's gonna be like nothing, fam. It ain't even gonna mean nothing. Shout out to you and congratulations on your upcoming interview. Watch that interview that I got inside of the Patreon. Interview like a king. My dog Persevere Dated TV is in the building. Says Michigan passed a bill that allows for us to remove the health coverage portion from your car insurance if you have sufficient health care coverage elsewhere. That dropped a lot from people's policy plans. I'm gonna make some phone calls. I'm gonna tell y'all how much I save in car insurance. I'm about to call Jake from State Farm. I got to figure out what to do with this car insurance. Shout out to my dog Persevere Dated TV. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for celebrating with me over 200,000. We're not celebrating no more on any channel unless we get over 1 million. All right? I love you guys. I appreciate you. You guys are the most awesome audience on the face of this earth. And I need you guys to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm going to be making a phone call, or I'm going to have somebody else make a phone call in order to lower my car insurance. You know what I'm saying? Out here in these streets, I'm sick of it. I'm going to holler at y'all later. 1,800. Oh, my God. I'm just getting mollywopped out here in these streets.